Oakley dokley, here we go, geometry. We are back in chapter 7, 7.2, similar polygons. Alright, similar polygons are figures that have the same shape, but are different sizes. So these two, for example, now notice this is rotated around, but if I rotate this back around or rotate this one, you can see that these two are similar. This one's smaller, but they're the same shape. In similar polygons, they are congruent only if they are similar, only if their angles are congruent and corresponding sides have proportional lengths. So the corresponding angles are the same. So A is congruent to the angle W, and B is congruent to the angle X, and so on. And then their sides, this side from A to B, is congruent, or is proportional to WX. So 15 to 5 is the same relation as 12 to 4. And that's 3 to 1. Right? 15 is 3 times 5. 12 is 3 times 4. So we want to set this up, list all pairs of congruent angles, and then write a proportion that relates the corresponding sides. So the congruent angles, we have F, that's the smallest angle here, so we look for the smallest angle, and that is J. Then G is congruent to K, and H is congruent to L. Now setting up a proportion for the corresponding sides. I'll first set up 3 lines, make these equal, because we're going to have one shape on top. So all the lines from one shape go on top. All the lines or sides from the other shape go on the bottom. So I have FG. This side, notice it's adjacent to the right angle, so there's the right angle, is corresponding to JK. GH corresponds to KL, and HF corresponds to LJ. The scale factor is a ratio of lengths of corresponding sides of two similar polygons. So, for example, between these two, I'd look for the corresponding sides. Now, since ABC is congruent to XYZ, AB is congruent to XY. Those are the first 2 letters, so first 2 letters here. You could get that from turning this and flipping it. Now, in this case, it makes sense because those are the only measures we have, so those are probably the corresponding sides. But you can tell from how it's set up here. So the scale factor from ABC, from the larger to the smaller, is 6 to 3. So the scale factor is 2. That means this is 2 times the size of the smaller one. The scale factor of the smaller to the larger, that would be 3 to 6. So that's important. Which one is listed first? That goes on top. Okay? The one that's listed first goes on top. Alright, we want to find X here. X corresponds to 10, so I'm going to set a proportion, setting those two on the same side, so X to 10, and then we need a corresponding side. Well, if I rotate this around, I'll find that 9 corresponds to 6. And then I can solve this proportion by cross-multiplying. I get 6x is equal to 90, divide by 6, and x is equal to 15. To find y, find the corresponding side, 3y minus 1, it corresponds to 12, and then use any of the other ones. We know this one now, so you could use that, or we could use the ones we were given here to begin with, 6 and 9. Cross multiply to solve, distributive property, and then get 9 to the other side, divide by 27, and y is equal to 3. And that's all the fun we're going to have today. See you all another day.